just a bit on the US market. I think if you look at US, last week it was, especially the S&P 500 index, it actually traded in a very narrow range of just 91 points. I think this week we continue to believe that the bulls will have the upper hand, but market volatility will increase because most likely the market movement will be data dependent. I think Wall Street will close today for holiday, and I think on Friday that will be one critical economy indicators, which is the jobs report. Okay, on the regional side, I think we're going to talk about 6 country child stocks for today's session. Basically, we're talking about pair trades, one buy, one sell. I think if you look at Malaysia first, SP Setia will be our buy pick, simply because when you look at the pullback, the correction from the high back in July, it was quite sharp. It actually fell all the way. It has actually fallen all the way back to the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement level. And it was only up to recent days, the share price has actually started to bounce back. I think that there are reasons to believe that short-term base has formed, because when you look at the RSI, it has actually hooked up. But obviously, a more convincing move will be appears through the 200-day SMA. Okay, for OCK, it is a technical sell call. I think if you look at the share price, it has actually violated the medium-term support trend line. So I think if there is another black candle today, most likely it will reinforce the negative outlook, and I think a deeper correction could be underway. For Indonesia, Mayora Indah is the buy pick for this week. Generally speaking, when you look at the pattern, actually a double bottom pattern. Okay, and I think if you look at the candles on the right, basically the recent attempts shows that the bulls are making a comeback, and it is now consolidating near the neckline. And more importantly, those candles are above the 30-day SMA. So once momentum pick up, I think the upward trajectory can be extended. Saido Muncul, this is a sell call for Indonesia. I think the head and shoulder pattern last Friday violated the neckline support. I think if you look at the 30-day SMA, it has also fallen below or cut below the 50-day SMA. So those are bearish indicators, bearish signals. Okay, for Philippines, DNL Industries, I think if you look at the share price movement, it is still actually trapped in a downtrend channel. But I think the recent rebound shows that I think the stock is actually poised for stronger recovery. Obviously, the candles have actually taken out the 30-day and 50-day SMAs, and it is now poised to challenge the 200-day SMA. Obviously, I think for those risk-averse traders, you may want to wait for the breakout. But the positive indicator here is that I think that it has actually cut above the 30-day SMA, has actually cut above 50-day SMA. On Ayala Land, this is a technical sell call. I think the key reasons why the sell rating was a cut below from the 30-day SMA. I think if you look at the 3 lines here, the 30-day SMA has actually fallen below the 50-day and 200-day SMA. And I think if you look at 200-day SMA, this is actually a long-term indicator. If it is trading at below 200-day, means that it is actually probably on a long-term bearish trend. For Sembcorp Industries Singapore, I think it has actually broken out the recent trend line. I think if you look at the candles, found its support around the 30-day SMA recently, took out the 50-day SMA last Friday, and hence I think there will be more upside ahead. SBS Transit is a sell call for Singapore. Reason being, I think if you look at the recent attempts to challenge the 50-day SMA, to challenge the downward resistance trend line, those attempts has failed miserably. So in other words, I think the bears are still strong here. For Thailand, regional containers is our buy pick. I think again, if you look at the trend line here, share price actually took out the resistance trend line. It also took out the 200-day SMA, so that is another positive signal. Once the 50-day SMA is taken out too, then that will actually instill greater confidence in the stocks. For RS Public Company, this is a technical sell for Thailand. I think if you look at the candles trading below all the key movement averages, so the correction from the long from the January 2022 high is still not over yet. So I think keep that in mind. For Vietnam, Duc Giang Chemicals, this is our technical buy pick for Vietnam. I think if you look at the recent share price movement, it actually hit the 50% Fibonacci retracement level. But I think after that, share price has actually bounces back above the 200-day SMA. In fact, I think over the last 1 week, share price has also bounced back above the 30-day SMA. So this is probably another positive signal. And lastly, for Vietnam Celcor, Viet Thanh Plastic is our stock pick over here. I think if you look at the candlesticks, it has actually violated the support trend line, and it also dragged the share price below the 30-day SMA. So I think those are some early sell signals for these stocks.